This is to all those comments that I get that ask me if my glasses are working. This is to all the comments that I get that ask me what pre-season games have I been watching when I say I see zero improvement, right? I made the point in my previous video. I went on the football terrace the other day. I'm going to put the clip of that. They've kindly let me put the clip of my appearance on there at the end of this video for you guys to see it. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I came across okay. But back to the original point, right? This video is for those that keep questioning, do I know football? What the hell am I watching? There has been improvements. When are we going to talk about the set pieces? Right? You all saw that Fiorentina first goal. Unbelievable. I think that's the worst set piece we've conceded in the last 2 years. I'm not a highlight show. I don't know yet how to get highlights without it being copyright, etc. So I'm not going to go into that. If you're a United fan, you watch this. I'm sure you watch the game, right? The whole team went to the front post. And there was maybe 2 or 3 Fiorentina players on the back post. He's not headed it in. He's not kneed it in. He's not found a way to get it in. The geezer's completely free first time passed it. I wouldn't even say half volley. Passed it into the net. Guys, I want to pop this up on the screen, yeah? Under Ten Hag, right? Granted, Amorim came in half the season, but the season before, 2023 to 2024 season. This will be on the screen so you can see what I'm seeing, yeah? United conceded 14 goals from set pieces, making them the second worst in the league for that defensive metric, yeah? Simple. Amorim took over, okay? He had conceded 9 set-piece goals in the 2024-2025 season. However, in the calendar year, right? So this is, I guess, both of them, right? 17 set-piece goals in 2024. I can't think when Ten Hag was sacked now. So that you guys can comment and tell me. But those 17 set-piece goals might be Amorim. I don't know. Yeah, but I might be wrong. I'm completely off. But either way, 9 last season, which I'll pop this up on the screen. With Ten Hag's 14 set-piece goals conceded, we were the second worst in the league. With Amorim, as of December 2024, okay, that's when he took over, there you go. He's conceded 9 Premier League goals via set-piece goals. Also the second worst, right? So when I say that I see the same nonsense, that's what I see. That is what I see. You saw the goal for Fiorentina. Another set-piece goal. That is shocking. I don't know who's doing set pieces. Arsenal schooled us on set pieces a few times last year, right? But it's not improving. And that's the only thing that's not improving. That's not the only thing that's not improving. The style of play, I don't see it. The patterns, I don't see it. People tell me they see it. I don't know what they're seeing. We look bang average, right? I said this in my last video. I said this on the football terrace. He's had a free shot at this. A few times now, right? And what I mean by a few times now, he's had that free shot last season. He's had pre-season. There's his 2 free shots at figuring things out. The minute this season starts, it's not a free shot anymore. It can't be. It can't be a free shot anymore. He needs to start delivering now. All these fans that are mega patient, it's because we've been through so many managers. You don't want to go through another manager. If we get rid of this manager, we've got to give the next manager 200 million. Is it your money? They'll have to figure that out. I want Rúben Amorim to do well. E quero que o Rúben Amorim faz bem neste trabalho. Right? I'm saying it in both languages. Right? I want him to do well. But mate, I just don't see it. Another point that I was making on the football terrace, and it really got a lot of engagement, right? Again, you'll see this clip at the end of my video here so you can see what it was all about, and it was about Bruno. And when you see this clip, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I didn't want to watch the clip with you and go through it bit by bit, long ting, bruv. Yeah, you can watch it at the end. You guys know your stuff. You know your football. I don't need to break it down for you, yeah? But I made the point that Bruno cannot play in that midfield position. He's absolutely wasted there. He's just wasted there, right? runs around like a headless chicken, right? He's got this permanent free role in our team. And I made the point on the football terrace when I called in that this free role's got to be managed a bit better. It's got to be managed a bit better. Terry came back at me, the owner there of Football Terrace. He's got like 500k subscribers. Hopefully one day, Hopefully one day. I've got 10% of that one day. That's the job of a number 8, to completely run around. I used an analogy and said if you look at Bruno's heat map, it was all over the gaff. He came back at me with Casado's heat map and said his is all over the map. Yeah, but here's my point. Casado does that job well. That's his position. The decisions he makes when he's all over the map are correct decisions. Bruno, that's not his position. He doesn't do that job well. His decision making, I'd say 6 out of 10 times in that position, is wrong. He stat pads fantastically. He's an assist flipping king, right? I'll pop something on the screen now that I read. They were comparing him to Bernardo Silva. They're not even in the same league, by the way. Bernardo Silva's been fantastic for Man City, but if I had to pick which one of these I'd want in the Portugal team, Bruno all day, every day. Bernardo Silva's fantastic in a system when it's all ticking over, it's all, possession-based football, but Bruno's on another level. But not to take anything away from Bernardo Silva, but back to the point. He's great at playing these Hollywood passes that, let's say out of 5 passes, 2 of them assist for a goal, right? But in that position, you need someone that 8 out of 10 times are making the correct decisions, right? Bruno makes the wrong decision in that position 6 out of 10 times. That's my opinion. He's not a number 8, right? End of story, right? What Bruno is, I'll tell you what Bruno is. I made the point that he needs to be one of the number 10s. Both of the guys, KJ and Terry, came back at me and were like, Amorim doesn't want his number 10. He wants his number 10s to be fast, pressure, mobile, etc. Yeah, I get it. And he's right, and they're right. They're right. I'll tell you what Bruno is. For those of you that are of age and played LMA Manager, played Pro Evolution Soccer, I'm going to pop something on the screen for you right now that's going to give you some nostalgia, yeah? And there was a position back in the day called SS, second striker. That is what Bruno is, yeah? Bruno is a Teddy Sheringham, right? You can't put Teddy Sheringham in a number 6. You can't put Teddy Sheringham striker. You put Teddy Sheringham behind the striker. He links up play in that little final third, lovely jubbly, spreads it here, spreads it there, right? Plays the number 9 through. Now and again, 1-2s with the number 9, puts it bottom corner. Bruno Fernandes is a Teddy Sheringham. Perfect example of what Bruno Fernandes is, yeah? Let me pop this up on the screen, right? Look at some of these teams. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Look at Man United here. Look at the team they had here, right? Rooney was our second striker. Later on in his career, he was our main striker and transferred into a number 9. He also came back and became like a number 8 as well, right? And a number 6. Rooney was fantastic, the way he could move around positions. But he's a second striker for us here. Check Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo, second striker, right? Let's go AC Milan, 2 centre forwards, 4-4-2. Let's go Arsenal back there. Adebayor, second striker with Henry as the main striker. I'd argue that should be the other way around, actually. Let's go to Barcelona there. 3 second strikers. Look at the 2 second strikers. Etu, for me, is a centre forward. But look at the other 2 second strikers. Messi, Ronaldinho. That position no longer exists in football, I feel like. And that is Bruno's best position. And here's the kicker. We don't have that position in our team. We don't. Where does Bruno fit in this? Right? He's got to fit into that number 10 role. But Amorim wants his 10s to be fast, aggressive, pressure. That is what I've seen as an improvement, by the way, in the team. Especially with Mason Mount and number 9. They were pressuring like crazy in that last game against Fiorentina. It was great to watch. Bruno can do that. Bruno runs, right? I don't know how this is going to work out, but it does not work out in that number 8, right? It just does not work in that position. And it's because of his decision making in that position. It's not his best role. It's not his best place. He can do a job there, but not a great one. Simple as. I prefer him in a number 6 role, the Casemiro role. Just running around, collecting the ball and passing it nice and simple. He's better at that than collecting it from the defender, collecting it from the winger, trying to be box to box, trying to make decisions. It's just not the right role for Bruno, and that's it. I've spent a lot of time on this Bruno Fernandes one, but I had to make the point. And when you see the clip at the end on the football terrace, you'll understand why I had to explain myself here. To finalise this point, Bruno Fernandes is a Teddy Sheringham, a second striker. He cannot play in that midfield role. Hopefully we get Belieber and we figure it out. He gives us that energy. I don't like Mainu in midfield, but maybe Belieber gives Mainu that bit of a lift, and that could be our future right there. Who knows? I don't think Mainu's the one, but maybe he can be, right? He's young. Give him time, right? But I saw a video today on Instagram that just made my heart bleed. And this is a bit of a nostalgia for us as well, United fans. Let's have a little watch of this together, yeah?
Gerard, Paul Scholes.
Paul Scholes? Who's the best?
Yeah.
More respect for him, Stephen, more respect, but Paul Scholes is my favorite one.
Yeah? Why?
I love it.
Are there any current or former players you wish you could have played with?
Paul Scholes.
Hey, tell him that as well.
Paul
Scholes better than Steven Gerrard.
I was just about to say the next one would have been right behind, very close, Stevie G. I have to go with Paul Scholes. And I love Stevie G, but I have to go with Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes was just a head in his head. He was making them tick. He was making Man United tick.
I just want to pay tribute to Paul Scholes, who retires today.
We've been fucked ever since, mate.
Unbelievable. One of the greatest players this club has ever had and ever will have.
Bruno plays these all the bloody time. I love Bruno, but some of them go absolutely AWOL. Scholes would never. And he played them at the right times as well. Not random, just random, you know. And you know when he hit it, you know it's getting to someone. 10 out of 10 times. I mean, he had this in his locker, but this weren't even his best attribute. It was the way he controlled games, the way he made the right pass at the right time. He knew when it needed to be Hollywood. He knew when it needed to be a short pass. He knew when he needed to play a little bit of tiki-taka. What a player, and we have not replaced him. Michael Carrick was close, and they played together for a while, right? But we're suffering without this. Absolutely suffering without this. It's torture. Until we fix this, we will never be back. Never ever be back. We will be battling whatever we're battling. The glory days will never return until we fix this. This goal, right? I fell to my knees and cried. I'll never forget it against Barcelona. It's put us through to the final. That goal put us through to the final, and yeah, the rest is history. We beat Chelsea in the final. Paul Scholes, what a legend. And I think that's a great way to end this video. It's going to be very difficult to get a Paul Scholes replacement. Probably never will. But until we get a player that's 60%, 50% of Paul Scholes, we're going to be suffering. We are going to be suffering. And no matter what Cunha, Mbumo, Sesko, even Donnarumma, yeah, it might be, but it won't bring us back to where we need to be. We need that heartbeat of the team to be sorted. I hope Belieber's the answer, and I hope we can get him. It seems like Brighton want to hold him onto him for another year. We ain't got time to wait. Let's see what happens, guys. Straight after this, I'm going to put the clip from the football terrace there. The reason I'm going on that is those guys, yeah, they've given me the opportunity to go on, to get my face out there, to get people to know me so I can get more subscribers here on this page. And it also gives me a bit more experience going live, etc. Hopefully I did okay. You, my subscribers, you guys that watch me, Comment below and let me know how I got on. I will get better at doing those lives. You get a bit nervous. It's straight up. You know, you're jumping on someone's channel who's got nearly 500k subscribers, who does videos with Mark Goldbridge. You realise it's an opportunity, you know, to get yourself out there to maybe blow big. So you get a bit nervous, but I'll always be me. I'll always be genuine, and I'll always say how I feel, even if the person doesn't agree with me. But anyway, guys, please like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the next clip. Catch you on the next video. Boom.
David's a United fan. What you saying, bro?
How you doing, bro? You well?
Very good, my man. Very good.
Yeah, I think I'm picking up where you just left off there in regards to standards. Yeah, I don't think standards is the word. I think it's running out of patience. I think finishing 15th, mate. I know that's the past, but this pre-season has felt like, instead of the season ending on game 38, it's felt like game 39, game 40, game 41. I just feel like we look exactly the same. Exactly the same. This manager had a free hit at last season, and you know it's a free hit because he finished 15th and he's been supported like this, which he should be supported. Ten Hag was supported, right? But with that free hit of last season, with pre-season, remember when he got the job, he said he needed a pre-season, right? It still looks disjointed to me. It still looks like moments of brilliance. It still looks like looking for a Cunha, an Mbumo, a Bruno Fernandes, someone to do something special. There just doesn't seem any cohesion. And yes, I know we played with a false nine, but we should have enough to have a few shots on target. The best shot on target was from Harry Maguire.
Well, no, but that's not true though, David. Like the Harry Maguire shot was great, but we had Cunha had a shot block that was clearly going in. We had a header from Yoro that again was clearly going in, but then you had David De Gea save it. I think there's another header from I think it might have been from Heaven. That was deflected. We had one where Luke Shaw headed it back and then someone else headed it in, went over the bar. So it's not like we didn't have shots and there was no opportunities, and David De Gea made no saves and there's no blocks. Like we were making chances.
De Gea was brilliant.
Yeah, he was good today, and obviously we know what David's like when it comes to making those saves. Any other goalkeeper, you might have a better chance, you know. But so I get what you're saying in terms of you feel like it's the same, but I personally don't feel like it's the same. I see some differences in terms of even just with energy, with the press.
Yeah, that's the only thing I noticed today. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you go for it.
What was the pressing? You're right. And fair play to Mason Mount. I mean, his energy was on level 100 today. And yeah, people are going to say he's not a false nine. Agreed. But that was the only positive out of today for me, was his running, his closing down. And that is the only thing that looks different for us, is the pressing. The energy from Cunha and Mbumo and Mount. But everything else, mate, Bruno in midfield is just wasted.
Yeah,
he is. Like, he's trying to spread these crossfield balls. They keep going out of play. He's wasteful, and I love Bruno. And without Bruno, I mean, he got an assist again today, whether that was an own goal or not, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Bruno, I don't ever want to get rid of Bruno. I love Bruno. He's been the highlight of our 10 years, the last 10 years. Without Bruno, what enjoyment would we have had? Way too much. He's not patient enough with the ball to link up the play. It's a tough one. That's why I think he has to play in those number 10 roles.
Yeah, no, and I feel you. I agree. Like Bruno in the midfield is especially with someone like Casemiro or Ugarte, it's difficult and it's not his best position, and it's frustrating at times because when you want him to play it simple, he plays it risky. When you want to play it risky, he plays it simple, and you just like it's just like it just doesn't work. But the only issue with Bruno in the tens is that, again, it's not because he can't do it. It's about what the manager wants the tens to do. He wants his tens to be fast, dynamic, carry the ball. And we know, and as much as we love Bruno, we know that's not his best attributes. So again, it depends.
How do you feel about Bruno just running around everywhere he wants?
Oh no, it can be annoying. It can be.
And isn't that the manager's job? Again, I'm here to support Amorim. Man, I want to see him fix this, yeah. But I'm going to say what I see. How do you feel about Bruno? He runs wherever he wants. If you get a heat map or whatever you call it of him, he's got a free role in this team permanently. But why? Surely all we talk about is systems, Amorim's system. But then you got Matey Boy, like completely doing his own system, running about wherever he wants. Surely, Amorim, say it in Portuguese, say it in English, say it in whatever language you want. Bruno, stay where I want you to stay. Stop running. He runs everywhere.
Mm.
And
No, it's mad. And you know what? Listen, I'm not about play FC. So even if it's maybe Ruben, drop him. Just see what we like without him. Again, this is not for people because I know a lot of people love Bruno, and as soon as you say, as soon as you just dropping Bruno, it's like you think you just think it's crap. No. It's just we're getting to a point now because he's 30, going on 31. He'll be like he's coming to his end of his Man United career. We need to start the transition, in my opinion. So there are times where in games where you maybe want more control, maybe just don't play him. Or maybe again, like I said, play him further forward. There are solutions that we haven't tried yet.
But does Bruno, I need to ask this question because I'm very confused. Does Bruno, I'm just sitting here looking at heat maps of more holding. I just looked at like Caicedo. We'd all go Caicedo sticks to his position. Caicedo's heat maps everywhere. Like, if I guarantee you now, if we did this experiment, name me midfielders in the Prem that play an 8 that stay in their position. I would bet £100 that when you look at their heat maps or where they pick the ball up, I bet all of them are spread out around that team. I honestly think look, maybe Bruno's different. I don't think Bruno is out of position any more than any other midfield player.
I think my answer to that is Caicedo knows his job and knows what he's doing. Bruno's trying to do too many jobs at once. He's trying to create things. He's trying to get the ball back. He's trying to make the team tick over. Caicedo, he knows what he's doing. Let me go get this ball and give it to who I need to give it to. Sorry, go for it.
But isn't that the job of an 8 to defend and attack and to try and make the team tick? It's literally an 8's job. If he was a 6, I'd go, yeah, why is a 6 in the box? Why is a 6 on the other side of the pitch? Why is a sitting midfielder? But isn't the idea of an 8? I mean, we just call it as kids, they're a box to box, which means they attack and they defend, which means they should be everywhere, right?
Back to what I'm saying, he's wasted there. It's not his position. He's not good enough to be there because he's not doing it right. Yeah. Okay. And I get your point about, yes, if you look at Caicedo's heat map, he's everywhere too. But it just feels a little more structured. Wouldn't you agree with that? I feel like Bruno's coming back to collect the ball off the defenders. He's trying to play 1-2s with the strikers. I know there's.
I think that's his job. I think that's his job. I think. Listen, if you say he's not good enough at it, that's a very different argument to he shouldn't be doing it. So Casemiro, I use as an example. His heat map's quite spread out, and he's in a very fixed position as a DM. You look at most 8s, and they're everywhere. I think him being everywhere is what he's meant to do. He's meant to receive the ball from defenders. He's meant to help defend. He's meant to attack. He's meant to work that ball. That's why an 8 is arguably the most physically demanding job. Maybe wing backs would have an argument in that in the modern day game. But the 8's job is so hard because you are literally meant to run up and down that pitch for 90 minutes. That element I can't criticize Bruno for. Execution maybe, but maybe not the running.
And one thing that doesn't help him as well, we need to also highlight the defenders, our centre-backs. They're not aggressive enough, in my opinion, especially when you have a gap like Bruno when he's going up. There's times where you see Lenny Yoro or Heaven in the wide centre-backs positions, and there's a passing lane that if they just moved up a little bit, you can create a new passing lane. When there's a hole in the middle, we don't really see the likes of Maguire or De Ligt being aggressive and pushing into that space or covering that space enough where they can intercept anything going wrong. I think that also is the issue as well, where with the team, like you said, there's cohesion that we need to work on. I think the difference between me and you, bro, is that I'm willing to give the cohesion time it needs to gel, whereas maybe you're not. You're ready to see it work now, innit? So like,
it's not so much that. It's not so much that. I just think, listen, like in any industry, in any job, if you don't show some sort of path of improvement, like surely patience runs out. And I'm behind him. Please don't get me wrong. And this is pre-season, but standards are, and I know you use the word standards, Terry. We finished 15th. It's no joke. Like, it is no joke. Like, we could have been relegated if the teams below us weren't as bad as they were. And this manager got a free hit at it last year, and rightfully so. They weren't his players. But the point of sacking a manager when you bring a new manager in is to get at least a little bit of an improvement. He didn't do that, in my opinion. Nothing improved. I'd argue Ten Hag would have won that final against Spurs. He was decent in finals, but we won't go into the past.
But
Yeah, I mean, you could also argue though that he wouldn't have got us to a final with how we were playing in Europe under him. We were struggling
he
to
got
win
us
those
to how
games.
many finals, Terry? He got us to how many finals?
Yeah, but in that time,
If you look at last season, I know we didn't lose any games to that final, but we just about got away with draws in those opening 3 European games. We were worried we weren't even going to get through the league phase. So we have to be fair in it. And look, if you don't like Rúben Amorim, you don't have to like him. I get your point. Sometimes in life you have to take a step back before you move forward. Where I agree with you, and I've said this on many times, he needs to improve. He needs to have a good start to the season. We need to be a much improved team. We need to be winning more games, so we've got something to hold on to. I have seen improvements in preseason though, and this is where I would say I think we're allowing the last 2 games. The way we played against Bournemouth, the way we played against West Ham, our pressing triggers were great. We scored goals in those games. Yeah, we scored 2 goals in the last game against Everton as an example. And we probably should have scored more today as well. And I'm not going to deny that we shouldn't be scoring more goals. But I haven't seen enough evidence this summer to go, there's been like no improvements and we can't or won't be a better team. I appreciate you see it differently, but where we both agree is we do need to be better next season. There's no doubt. But for me, I still don't think Bruno is one of our biggest problems. I still think it's a lack of energy and legs. In terms of midfield today, I thought he was actually one of our better performers. You know, the guy, 91% pass completion, created chances. We should have, Cunha probably should have scored with that goal right at the end. And ironically, that was created by 2 players that most of our fan base despise now in Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount. It was very good football. We got the ball into a lot of areas. What we ain't focusing on is, again, I look at Ahmad today. Did some really good things in the attack, but the amount of times he lost the ball, again, if Bruno lost the ball that amount of times today, he'd be getting kicked. People would be going crazy. I'm going to give Cunha time. He's just joined, but Cunha today 3 or 4 times gets the ball, great positions, really poor pass, loses the ball. I'm not blaming managers for that. That's a player execution issue, but yet he's getting leeway. Bruno, it would literally, people would want to burn him at the stake, and I'm just not about that personally. I agree with you. There's a jadedness. People are jaded, which means their patience is pushed right to the end of the tether. But
I said Bruno's a diamond. He's been our diamond for the last 10 years. Without Bruno, what have we had to cheer about? You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying drop Bruno either. No, I'm saying I just feel he's wasted in that midfield role, and we've come to the agreement together. I think we've met in the middle here. Yes, he's heat maps everywhere. I just don't think he's good enough to play that role. Yeah.
The Premier League is what I again, where I think he'd be okay if we had more legs around him. And I think that's something that we don't have right now. And I say okay for a short period of time. Longer term, no, I want better than him in that 8 role, definitely. Listen, David, great call though, my friend. Great challenges. And we'll chat to you again soon, bro. Top man.
Yes, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully I came across okay. Hopefully my points were made. A few people commented below on the video saying, who's that guy, David? He made some great points. I'll pop them up here on the screen now so you guys can see it. But the reason I've kind of done a finale bit, I was going to end it there at the end of that clip. I'm trying my hardest to put out content that you guys like to get me to 500 subscribers. Once I get there, I'm going to start going live. I'm going to have the, what's the word I'm looking for? The guts, the audacity to think I can go live. That's how I feel at the moment. I don't feel like I can go live alone yet because I haven't got enough people that follow me, that subscribe to me. But once I get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to go live. I'm going to get some of you guys to go live with me, my subscribers, the people that have supported me, so we can do exactly what we're doing now, chat football. I've got a few people that already comment a lot on my page. A guy called Michael, I'm shouting him out now. He's been great. He's commented on everything I post. Some of the stuff he comes out with is absolutely fantastic. He seems to have a vision into the future. He's called quite a lot of things. So people like that I'll have on my page. And anyone that loves my content, supports it, comments on everything I do, likes my stuff, get me to 500 subscribers, guys, and I will be going live with my subscribers. But anyway, catch you on the next video. Bosh.